Welcome back to the Cossy channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Martin Zubimendi has been given permission to do his medicals at Arsenal after paperwork was finalized yesterday. The BBC are reporting that medicals have now been confirmed to be booked, and at any moment he will do his medicals, sign his contract, and will be announced as a new Arsenal player. We'll give you more details on this story. And at the moment as well, Arsenal are in talks with the representatives of Leroy Sane to sign him as a new Arsenal player on a free deal this summer. Mikel Arteta is a big fan of the player, and Arsenal have always been there around this deal. We were just waiting for Bayern to fail to extend the player's contract, and then we pounce. Arsenal believe they can get Leroy Sane this summer, as Bayern are giving up on keeping the player. Also, Andre Bata is working quickly on a number 9 signing. He's trying to decide very quickly between Gyökeres and Šeško, as Arsenal don't want to be part of the fight that will happen later in the window as clubs try to sign a striker. Arsenal want to get their deal done quickly and early. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Lots of stories going on, but of course we've got some breaking, we've got some breakthroughs as well when it comes to Arsenal transfers, and that is what you want to hear. Arsenal linked with everyone, but at least we complete some deals. So let's start off with this big deal on Martin Zubimendi. It has been confirmed by BBC Sami Makpo that at the moment Martin Zubimendi has been granted permission by Real Sociedad to do his medicals at Arsenal. That is confirmed. We can confirm that Martin Zubimendi has the full permission of Real Sociedad to do his medicals at Arsenal. And there are only 2 conditions a player can do medicals for a club. One, if he's a free agent and he has agreed personal terms and details with a club, or that player has been given permission by his club and the 2 clubs have an agreement on the fee, on the structure, and everything. Now, yesterday, as we were sleeping, I don't know if we were sleeping or we were awake, Arsenal and Real Sociedad completed all the paperwork for the Martin Zubimendi deal. It took some time because Arsenal, rather than paying the 51 million release clause at once, we decided to go around it. We decided to pay it in installments, and that's why the deal took a little bit of time. But of course, it didn't take any time because even before the window has opened, Martin Zubimendi's deal is done. Paperwork is done according to Fabrizio Romano, and the BBC can confirm that the player can do medicals at any point starting from yesterday, as he has the permission from Real Sociedad. So Arsenal will be getting their player. Everything has been agreed. And Fabrizio Romano has just tweeted this. And I don't know what this really means, but I want you to, let's make sense of it together. So after Martin Zubimendi and the breaking story came out, Fabrizio tweeted and he said that Arsenal plans for midfielder now confirmed after Jorginho's exit. Martin Zubimendi, right, will formally complete his 60 million euro move soon with medicals and signature, and then here we go, already confirmed. Negotiations are also underway for Thomas Partey's new deal. So I think, I don't know whether I'm right, but what Fabrizio means here is that the plan for Arsenal's midfield is going to be Partey and then Martin Zubimendi. That is what we're going to work on this summer. And maybe next summer, Arsenal could lose Thomas Partey. And even if we don't lose Thomas Partey, we might see a new addition. I have the feeling, I don't know if you have it too, that in the next 3 years, this Arsenal midfield that we are seeing right now is going to be completely different. So you have a Martin Zubimendi at 26 years of age. He's such an ideal signing. So in the next 4 years, you're going to have him as a very important player in this midfield. And of course, you've got that 100 million pound Declan Rice that has been sensational this campaign. So the question now is, does Odegaard raise his level and raise his standard to fit and play, to play alongside Rice and Martin Zubimendi? Because we know Partey will be leaving very soon. So it's going to be Zubimendi and Rice as the core of this midfield at Arsenal. Does Odegaard raise his standards and raise his quality? Because we know he's a talented player. We know he's such a beautiful player on the ball. Does he raise his level? Does he raise his standard to the level where our midfield is going to be Odegaard, Rice, and Zubimendi, or do we find a replacement for Martin Odegaard, right? But at the moment, I would say I'm a little bit surprised that Arsenal, you know, these are our plans, right? I'm not surprised because keeping Partey is good and Martin Zubimendi is such a good signing. But for a team that has clearly had creation problems, chance creation problems, for a team that has not had joy in front of goal, I would have thought a number 10 would have been a priority. Even if we didn't work on a number 10 in May or in June or even in July, I would have thought that we would have been there for any market opportunities, like the Ryan Shaki market opportunity. Maybe Arsenal should have been there, like the Bilal El Kanous market opportunity. I thought Arsenal would push and push and push. But if these are our plans, then there is a big chance that Arsenal might keep Fabio Vieira. I'm getting the feeling that if Arsenal decided to go with this as their core of the midfield this summer, then there is a very, very big chance that we will see Fabio Vieira stay. But let me know now in the comment box below. Are you happy with this? Is this okay for you? Arsenal just renewing Partey's contract and signing Martin Zubimendi, and we say the midfield is done. I just feel like this midfield lacks, it lacks something. Like it lacks that creativity a team like Manchester City has. And if you look at Manchester City and the players they're signing, Tijani Reinders, for me, is a very creative player. And then Brian Sharkey, and then they have Phil Foden, and they've got Bernardo Silva, and they've got Ilkay Gundogan. These players are not naturally number 10s, but they're very creative. So when I look at this Arsenal team, I'm like, okay, you have Odegaard, who is not a number 10 naturally, but is a very creative 8. That is okay. But Merino isn't that creative. Kai Havertz isn't that creative. Zubimendi creates chances, but his chances are more of once in a while, right? He will create 3 very good chances or 4 very good chances in like 10 games, right? From, you know, as a deep line playmaker and defensive midfielder. So I thought Arsenal would actually give more attention to a number 10, but maybe that's why Mikel Arteta wants the next player we're going to talk about. And the next player we're going to talk about is not a defensive midfielder, but rather an attacking option, and that is Leroy Sane. So I just want to fill you in right there on the Leroy Sane deal. It's been reported by Mark Grethmike. And Mark Grethmike is a reporter from the Telegraph, very, very reliable outlet. And they're saying that Arsenal made inquiries into signing Leroy Sane on a free transfer this summer. The German forward has options as Bayern contract expires next month. And this is from Gary Jacobs from The Guardian, and he's saying that Arsenal are targeting a move for Leroy Sane. Mikel Arteta worked with Sane at Manchester City, and he wants to target a winger this summer. Bayern has been in talks with Sane, who is out of contract at the club next month, and has attracted interest from several clubs this summer. So that's where we are with Leroy Sane. Now, the Leroy Sane story is not a new one. It's actually just coming back, right? It's just coming back because it's a story that we have talked about. It's a story that we have seen for a long time now. I think since January, Arsenal have been interested in signing Leroy Sane, and there's been this kind of consensus or general consensus or feeling around the media that if it doesn't extend at Bayern, then 100% Arsenal are going to give him the benefit of the doubt and sign him this summer. The one thing I want to say with Leroy Sane is it's kind of a risk, but for me, it would be a good signing. That's the first thing I want to say. It's a risk the way you see the Raheem Sterling deal, because these are older players, and at times their careers have come to an end, or you might sign him and his career just ends right there and then. But if Arsenal are seriously going to sign Leroy Sane, I'm going to back the manager on this one. And then Andrea Bata, Andrea Bata is working, and he's hoping to complete at least 2 or 3 major signings signed and delivered early in the transfer window. It's according to Jordan Davis. Um, I am not really sure what Arsenal really consider major signings this summer, because Martin Zubimendi is the major signing, and a striker is a major signing as well, right? But then the question I would have potentially is, who would be the third major signing? Because it's a little bit, it's a little bit confusing. We're linked up with a lot of players, but I'll keep you posted, right? I'll keep you posted on all these stories as they come. See you soon.